today's version of what worked and what didn't. This did not. These are supposed to be Brussels sprouts and kale. And, I'm just so tired, y'all. I've been working a lot. And this has me so frustrated because I put these in right at the beginning of spring. So it's like a full growing season and it's not going to yield anything. And there's no doubt as to why. So I had this mesh cloth and it went all the way across. Don't mind my stuff sitting there. It's another project. And the theory was that it would not let any of the moths, the caterpillars that come in and eat the kale. And then we have issues like this. Nice, beautiful hole for them to go in. And the other thing, I'm not sure how that hole happened, but it did happen. And so I'm sure they got in there. And the other thing was rabbits would come up and underneath this, and then it would kind of be like stuck up. So I'm sure that caterpillars could have gotten in there. So, all right, let's unveil these beautiful carcasses away. I mean, it's just so disappointing. Now, this was my attempt to do completely chemical free, not even BT. Part of the reason that I wanted to do that, I don't want to do chemicals because I'm mindful of that. The BT though, I view that as like a very, organic friendly way to take care of these plants. However, the problem is, what'd I just say? I've been working a lot. I don't get out here. I'm not a full-time farmer. I'm doing this in addition to homeschooling my kid, doing the animals, doing my full-time job, and I don't have myself on like a schedule where I spray the plants every so often. So for next year, I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm going to plan to do it again next year. I'm going to try to make sure that my nettings don't get holes in them, which, that's hard to gauge. I don't know when this hole showed up. And even one day, then I could have moths in there. Or I need to establish, I don't know, maybe like once a week, Tuesday morning, walk through the garden with my tea and my BT spray and just spray everything down. But I will say this. The thing that did work out about this is that this is the furthest I have ever gotten with Brussels sprouts. And let's pull this back here. The Brussels sprouts were happening. They were happening. So, what's the saying? Rome wasn't built in a day. Garden teaches you patience. But so that's the deal. The kale, this one, was a big, beautiful black magic kale plant. I mean, look at all the frass. Let's see if I can see them. Look at all the frass in there. And for those of you that don't know, that black stuff sitting in the little crook of the leaf stalk, that is called frass, F-R-A-S-S, and that is poop. So if you're seeing that, then somewhere above that there's a caterpillar of some sort. So this year it didn't work out again, but I'm gonna keep trying. I don't know if it's stubborn optimism or some kind of fighter instinct. I don't know if it's a positive attribute or a negative one, or I'm just a little dumb. But I'm gonna try it again next year. I really would love to have, so I'm like looking at these plants, right? I had 1, 2, 3 Brussels sprout plants. And you know what? Like that would have been enough for us. We don't eat them as, we might eat them once a month or something when we have them in the freezer. So like that, that would have been enough. That would have been, 6 plants would give us absolutely a year's supply. We probably wouldn't even eat that many. So there's hope, there's optimism. I can become self-reliant in my Brussels sprouts if I can figure out the pest issue, and if I can figure out, well, no, it's just the pest issue this year. If I wouldn't have had pests, we'd have nice Brussels sprouts. On at least 2 of these, that one in the back, they don't look very developed, but yeah. So anyway, it didn't work. I learned a lot though, and so I probably sound a little bit more disappointed than I actually am. Next year, I'm revamping this whole garden setup back here, bringing this bed out a little bit into the yard, and then we're going to run rows because that's north to south. So we had a lot of shading this year from the vertical rows running east to west. So we're going to change that up. So I'll probably put in a row of Brussels sprouts, row of cabbage, and maybe just try to do a routine every 7 days. Spray them down, see what happens. But yeah, all right. If you have a spray routine that works for your Brussels sprouts, let me know, because I'm obviously not killing it with these.